Hey, what's up guys? Will here. So I just flew back into Salt Lake City from Wonderfest and spent a week in Virginia, and realized that I'm going to be driving by on my way back home to Nevada. I'm going to be driving by pretty much all of the filming locations in Utah for Con Air, and I thought I'd do a quick little video to show where these filming locations took place, well, as best as I can. Right now I'm at Salt Lake City International Airport, and a lot's changed here since Con Air was filmed, so there's a lot of stuff that I can't match up anymore, and there's also stuff that's in a secure area and I can't go in there. So I'm gonna do my best to try to show a couple of these spots. The first spot I want to use, now first of all let me mention that they filmed in 3 different locations in Utah. They filmed the initial loading of the prisoners on the Jailbird right here at Salt Lake City International Airport. The prisoner exchange that they did took place at in Ogden, at the Ogden airport, and the third place was out in Wendover, which I'm going to go past on my way back to Nevada. And that's where they filmed what was supposed to be Carson City, but it wasn't Carson City. It was actually Wendover, Utah. So to start off, the first thing that was filmed here at this particular spot, once Nicolas Cage's character gets freed from prison and he's arriving to get loaded onto the Jailbird along with all the other prisoners, you get this shot of the transport buses coming down the road and kind of going through this like gauntlet with razor wire and barbed wire on it. And you don't get a whole lot of reference images, but you do see this. Let me flip this. So in that video, when you see the helicopter flying in, that took place right here. This is what is this called? North Temple. And North Temple now kind of, they rearranged it now down here. North Temple goes off in this direction. So this is kind of old North Temple. But this is where they would have drove down to enter the gate. And in the video, you can see this building here. And also, if you look real close, I'll try to zoom in, there's a notch. I think these are chimneys up here. But in the movie, if you look real close, you can see that split chimney in the movie as they're driving in, and you see all the barricades would have been set up here, but they've redone a lot of this around here. So they would have come in and they would have driven in, and I believe where that gate is, where that office is now, is where that gauntlet was set up with the razor wire. And of course that was all built for the movie. That's not something they would have had here at the airport, but they would have had that there. And the remainder of those shots, once they're loading them onto the Jailbird, I believe the Jailbird was sitting over in this area right here. And the only reason I say I believe is because there's a shot from inside the office where you're looking out and you see the Jailbird, but I don't see where that building is. But I know this is the spot for a couple reasons. So for one, when you get a shot of this mountain range back here, and you can tell this is the mountain range because I matched up the pictures. But all of these highs and lows in the mountains match up with that shot. In addition, if you look, I'm gonna try to zoom in on this, but I got to walk around a little bit to get it. I'll show you an image of this as well. As Cole Meany is pulling up into the parking lot, you get these towers. Oops, my finger's too big in it, but these 2 towers right here, you can see that in the background as well. So I know this is where that shot was done, and succeeding shots, like I said, were all done right here as well. The only thing I can't figure out is how to match up the indoor shots looking out. I don't know if that was built for the movie. It looks like it was a permanent structure, but I don't know that for sure. I'm gonna drive around, see if I can maybe get a better look at it, maybe pop in and ask some of these people if they know anything about that building. But so again, North Temple, and this is the intersection of 2400 West And this is where that scene and succeeding scenes were shot here in Salt Lake City at Salt Lake City International Airport. Now, the following scenes where they did the prisoner swap and there was a big dust storm, that was filmed at Ogden Airport. But because there was so much dust blowing around, there's not really much footage to kind of line up with anything. So I'm not going to drive all the way up to Ogden to try to line up any shots there. But I was already here at Salt Lake City International Airport, and I figured that I would come here and try to line up some shots here. But those are the main shots I've got. So that's pretty much it. So now I'm going to drive about an hour and 45 minutes west of here to Wendover and take a look at the filming locations out there. Stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm not quite at Wendover yet. There's a couple more miles to the west yet before I get to it, but this is the Bonneville Salt Flats. And if you're going to come out here to visit the Con Air filming locations, this is worth a stop as well, not only for its historical significance, but also because if you really need an excuse to visit it for a filming location, this is the opening scenes for Buckaroo Banzai. These were filmed here, so you can come here and visit for that reason if you really need a filming location excuse to visit it. But it is beautiful here. It's desolate, it's flat, it's got these really cool patterns when you come out here. Now I come out here one time and it was flooded here, so depending on the time of year you get out here, you could be walking on dry ground, you could be walking on softer ground, or it could be flooded. So just keep that in mind. But it is worth a stop if you're coming out here. All right, guys, so this is really turning into a dead end here. So unfortunately, this is gated. This is U.S. Air Force property. They have a range here. But this is the road it looks like you would have to go down to get to where they filmed the whole boneyard scene and the tower. And I'm going to try to zoom in as best I can. But you can see, you see that tower there? That is the tower that they end up crashing the, what is it, the Shelby Cobra into. That's the tower. And all the other buildings that they had built would have been in that area. Now a lot of that stuff was built just for the movie. The boneyard wasn't real. It was they did that for the movie, and there were several other buildings that they built for the movie. But that is the tower right there. Fortunately, I can't get out to it. But you've got some bunkers out there that you can make out. I think it's that one there. You see those bunkers right there, center screen. That one to the right is the one that they run on top of. John Malkovich runs up there on top of and sees the vehicles coming from the distance. And that's also to the right of that is where the plane was stuck, that they were digging it out. So it's unfortunate. This is a national filming, I forget what they call it, National Filming Institute location or something like that, but it's just unfortunate that they don't make it to where people that are fans of that movie can access it. So that's unfortunate. But I got one other thing that hopefully I'm going to be able to show you. And it's probably one of the bigger reasons to stop by here if you're in the area, or to come out here and take a look. So give me a minute and I'll make my way over there. And just for reference, so Wendover, this is, let me turn the camera, just for reference, this is West Wendover, this is Nevada. Over here is Wendover, Utah. The pool is right over in this area, and then, like I was pointing out, the tower is out there, way out there. So, friends, if you do come out here. But let's go take a look, and hopefully we'll have better success with this this next stop. So, give me a minute. All right, guys, so I am in Wendover, and this was the Wendover Municipal Pool. Hasn't been used in some time, but this is where Steve Buscemi has a little tea party with the girl. And I've seen some other people do some videos here. The gate should hopefully still be unlocked, as long as nobody's vandalized anything. Hopefully they didn't lock it up and we can get in here and take a look. Let's see, this should be the gate right here. Let's see if they've got this locked or not. Nope, they've got a chain on it. Well, that kind of stinks, but I think I can still line up a few shots. What we're looking for is this smaller kiddie pool over here. So let me see if I can get a shot lined up, and we'll come back. Well, unfortunately, they have a perimeter fence that meets this fence at the corner, and I can't even get around the back side to get a good look at or even line up shots. In the film, let me swing this around again. It looks like they had a trailer park built, well, set up behind this to do filming. There's no trailers back there now, and I don't think that was ever a trailer park. It looks like that's something they had set up. But the pool is over here, so the establishing shot you get is actually coming from the other side where the RV park would have been, looking at the pool itself. But you can make out, for instance, let me see if I can get this to focus and zoom in a little bit. Let's see if we can focus this. Come on, focus. That bar that you see there, and it's hard for me to tell if this is actually focusing on the bar or on the fence. It looks like it's focusing on the fence. Let me back out a little bit. All right, that's probably as good as I'm gonna get it. That bar right there, you can make out in this photo, and as well as these handholds that come up out of the pool, you can make those out as well. It kind of sucks that they locked it. I had seen some people do some photos of this, and when they got here the gate was unlocked, but unfortunately it looks like either somebody's done something or they just decided it was probably a good idea to have that gate locked, or they had a lock on it before and somebody's broken in, and it just so happened that the other people I've seen come here and film this site were lucky enough that they got here when the gate was open, but it's not anymore. So unfortunately, this is as close as I can get to that, and the best I can do as far as getting close, somewhat close to an establishing shot, is to come around this back side here. And you can see that there is a fence right here that comes up to the edge. So can't go that way. That is airport property, so I definitely don't want to go over there. But over here is where they would have had the trailer park set up. And then the view looking back, you could see the kiddie pool and this side of this building here. See if I can zoom in without it not going crazy out of focus. But yeah, that building right there, you can see the side of, plus the kiddie pool. But yeah, this is as close as I can get to it. So moving on, let's see what else we can find here though. All right guys, so there's a museum here, and the museum tells you a little bit about the history of the military base that was here. Should also mention that the Enola Gay, there's an Enola Gay hangar. The Enola Gay was here for a period of time before the bombings of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And tells you a little bit about it, but down here this last blurb says, the tower to the west of the long building is not historic, was constructed for the filming of the movie Con Air. And those buildings are right over there. That's where the tower and those bunkers are. So from here, I am right around in here somewhere, and those buildings are out here. And this is the road I showed that I tried to access, but you can't because it's U.S. Air Force property, so can't go out there. But they do have some other things here. They have what appears to be an almost identical tower to the one that was constructed for the movie. I don't know if you can go up in that. I'm going to have to take a look at the museum here. But what I wanted to show you is actually over here across the parking lot. This is one of the planes used for filming Con Air. This is one of the Jailbirds. Now they had from what I've read, they've had 3 of these aircraft that they used. Only one of the 3 was capable of flight. The other 2, this one was used for all the filming scenes here in Utah. And when they were done filming the scenes out there, they donated it to the museum rather than having to tear it down. From what I read, they removed the wings and had this trucked to the different filming locations that they used it. So rather than having it trucked somewhere again, they just donated it to the museum, and the museum has put it here on display. But this is one of the 3. The third one was used for the crash scene in Las Vegas. So that one was totaled. But this one is here, and you can actually go in and take a look at it. And if you can make it out, it says United States Marshal up here. And let's see how faded the Jailbird decal is. But there it is, the Jailbird, as seen in the movie Con Air. I'm not sure what this car is about. I don't see anything displayed about it other than it being an old military vehicle. But let's go take a look inside. Now, also from my reading, none of the film was actually done inside of any of these planes. They actually constructed a set in a soundstage, and that's what they used to film the interiors. So this interior has seen better days, but I'm sure a lot of this was just for ease of movement, removal of the wings when they shipped it. But here's the loading ramp back here. You can see there's no cages or seats or anything in here. There never was. This was specifically used, like I said, for the scenes filmed in Utah, and it was always pulled. I don't think this had a motor. I think it was always pulled. You'll see up here there is a steering wheel so that they could turn it where they needed it to go. But we can step up in here, get a view from the pilot seat. Let me see if I can back this out anymore. Doesn't look like it. But yeah, so this is pretty much it. No flight controls. This was just, like I said, steered around. It was pulled and used for the film. And again, we're looking out the window. A tower right over there. That's where they filmed all the scenes that this was used in. So I'm assuming this had some kind of cushion in it at some point. But you can see not a whole lot left in here. You can actually look straight down to the landing gear and see down there. I'm not sure if this was a brake or this may have been a brake or something. Not sure about that. Maybe somebody that's better versed in airplanes could answer that. But you do see that there is no access to the bottom, to the belly where they had their property stored at. Again, that was just something they built for the on a set. But I don't know how much longer it's going to last. It's just left out here to the elements. So my suggestion would be to get out here and check it out if you're a Con Air fan, and take a look at it while it's still here, because eventually I'm sure this will probably turn into a pile of rust and they'll have to close it down. I don't know if they close this gate here. They probably do at certain times, but it's here, so get out here and see it. But it's unfortunate I wasn't able to show as much as I was hoping to, but the payoff was getting a look inside the plane, right? Even though it's not the one they filmed inside of. But getting a look inside of one of the planes used in the movie, it's still pretty cool to me. So hope you enjoyed it. But until next time, stay safe, take care.